Hi everyone. I tried to make this video 3 times. This is the third attempt now, and one occasion there was some building noise, on another the battery died, so it has been quite a journey, but I hope that this time it will work, and I hope that this video will be useful to some of you, because it was definitely useful for me. So this video is about how you take an old palette. In this instance it's the Rowney, the pocket size palette, and this is my first palette ever, so it's quite vintage. I'd say it's super old, well loved. As you can see, most of the colors have dents in them, so you can see the bottoms. But you know, now that I have used Daniel Smith and White Nights by St. Petersburg, and I also ordered a big set from the Mijello Mission Gold, basically I started enjoying artist grade watercolors. So this being student grade isn't as exciting anymore. But at the same time, I kind of thought, you know, I learned with these watercolors and I'd like to use them once in a while. But the colors, it's only 12 colors and they're very kind of basic, nothing too interesting. Probably my favorite color of the palette is the sap green, which is just here. I will show you the swatches again. I think I might have done that in another video, but because we're talking about this palette today, I will pull out my swatch book, and here we are. So these are the swatches, and that's the sap green. So if I hold them like that, these are the colors as they are in the pan. So these are the main colors that obviously anyone needs to mix the colors and learn how to create different shades. So these are the how shall I say, the basic colors that you need to start with when you're doing when you begin to learn how to use watercolors. So what I will show you next is this water what it's called, color mixing chart. I guess you can do that maybe with other colors. I'm not sure if you can, but with watercolors it sort of works really well, because you can mix them and see how many other colors you can create. So here are the 12 original colors on the side and on top. And what you do is you take, for example, lemon yellow, and then, you know, if you want, you can leave it blank, or as I've done, I mixed it as well, and kind of, if you see, it makes a more vibrant color than the original swatches, because I guess it's more pigment, so it makes sense. So some people leave this line going across as blank. I decided to use that. So I think up till here somewhere, I basically was the colors that you mix up tend to be repetitive on the corners, because it's the same thing. For example, if you mix up alizarin with cobalt blue, you get this color. Now if you go below, cobalt blue with alizarin here should be the same color. In my case it's not, because in some of the cases I have basically done the swatch twice, which is going to be here. And in this first half it was taking me ages. I think it took me about 3 days in total to finish this chart, because I was really you know, putting effort into it. So I got basically 2 different colors, although it's the same pigments mixed. But in one of them I would use, for example, if this is the primary color, I would use more of this, less of the cobalt blue. and vice versa, because this is the main color, I'd use more of the cobalt blue and less of the alizarin, and that's how I would get different colors. So doing this chart was very useful because, first of all, the black here in this palette is very, very translucent. Well, you're not going to see it in the actual palette, but if I'm going to show it on the swatch again, it's very translucent compared to my other blacks, if I show you. So this is the duller Rowney black, and for example this is the Prima, the Classics black, and this one, very pigmented, is the St. Petersburg black. This one is the Kuretake black, also very pigmented. Do I have anything else which is watercolor? No. Okay, so basically that's a comparison for you. But, so I have never really enjoyed using this black because I thought it's very pale and, you know, wasn't quite sure what to do. But doing this chart, I realized that there is a huge variety of colors you can get. I never knew that you could mix black with another pigment and get colors. Well, if it's very pigmented, you won't be able to do that, but if it's as pale or as transparent as this watercolor, then yes, you can do that. So some of the surprising colors for me that I really liked was these two. So that's mixed with cobalt blue, and this one is Prussian blue. And what else did I like? Yeah, a couple of the yellows as well. I thought that was interesting to see that they come out almost as sort of like olive green color. So my favorites out of all these mixes probably were these ones here. So that is the Viridian Hue mixed with cobalt blue, and Prussian blue also mixed with Viridian. So basically this color with these. So what I decided to do is, because I realized I now have mixed interesting colors, why don't I use them? So I picked out my favorite colors that I used here. Also, I think I quite liked this one, sub green with lemon yellow. It just becomes more alive if you compare the original. It becomes more kind of juicy and vibrant. So what I've done was I mixed those colors again, so the Viridian Hue with cobalt blue to get this turquoisey color, then Viridian Hue with Prussian blue. This came out a little bit more blue here because I also watered them down for a more pastel effect rather than a colorful effect. And then the third color I did was sap green with lemon yellow, which I just mentioned. And then the fourth color, I basically mixed all four, so these two, to create this green. And that's what I came out with, just sort of using the colors, seeing how they flow, how they mix. If I zoom that in, you will see that they're lovely colors. And yeah, if I pull out the original swatches for you, so I'll pull them next to each other, put them next to each other, you will see that these colors here that I have achieved, they're nothing like what I have here as the original. So it is very fun to see that you can not only create different colors, but you can actually create more pastel colors if you have quite bright colors, and that they still look really beautiful, and you know, there is still vibrancy to them. I have used some of this sap green and lemon yellow right in the middle, and it comes out beautifully. You can still see that very nicely. So yeah, I think it's a great way to start using a watercolor palette of yours that perhaps isn't as well used, and you can create interesting things with it. So thanks for watching. See you soon.